everybody, this is a 5-minute light language for the 3-3 portal, 3rd of March 23. It feels like this is about the Chiron Venus conjunction today, bringing up our deepest wounds for clearing. As of course, as we clear those, we can move forward on a much higher, brighter path without the relative self-sabotage around those issues, because while we're holding that trauma, we attract situations and people that reinforce them in order to bring them up to our conscious awareness, to evaluate them and clear them. So if we're clearing them now, this paves the way for a new blank canvas in that respect. So I've got some energetic assistance with this one. This is a homemade geode that I made with light language in it, and this is essentially the Lightworkers version of the Maiden, Mother and Crone. They are the light bringers, the tea light holders, and they have light language in them to bring their energies. A lot of crystal love heart shapes. Ishatatati takatati takatati takatatati takataka akatati tati takataka toko toko koko toko ko atatatatata. So I'm using the Intuit Oracle. These are new for me, and the question card. So the question that came up for this 3-3 portal is, how can I shift my thoughts and feelings towards this personal situation in order to improve the dynamic? I feel that's perfectly relevant to the Chiron conjunction with Venus. So I see this as a continuation from beginning in sequence to what's coming. So starting at the child makes sense. So this is the masculine child. So there's an inner masculine child wounding. So could be something that happened as a child, could be also other lifetimes, but it's taking you back to when you were innocent. And it's in the masculine energy, so it's like that active action, planning, strategic energy. So maybe wanting to get started on things, having something you want to do, and if it's in terms of relationship, you know, finding the girl you like, or wanting to please a parent or something like that. When you're innocent, when your heart is pure, when you've just got that creative spontaneity coming through, carefree, inexperienced, tender. And the new perspective is that it's an innocent perspective. You haven't been conditioned to think of something a particular way. It's just a genuine, spontaneous response to what you see, what you hear, what you feel at the beginning of your life journey as a human. Okay, I'm feeling that going down the spine, especially the back of the neck where the atlas meets the skull. Atatatiti, and going through the digestive system. So we're clearing that beginning phase, that innocence, that genuine responses, genuine creative flow, what you're being drawn to, that you want to connect with, people you want to connect with, things you want to connect with. Atatati takatati takataka tokoko. And then whatever happens at that stage, it cuts deep. You know, that first cut is the deepest. It's like when you're really open-hearted, the betrayals or the slaps in the face or the rejections, they cut really deep because it's your first experience of them. You don't understand as well. You may be not mature enough, having not experienced the world yet, to understand why that beautiful, pure, creative carefree, spontaneous energy is not met or reciprocated or received in the way that it was intended. And what I'm getting very strongly is that's not about you. That energy in itself is beautiful. It's about that person's ability to receive, or the circumstances of that situation that you're trying to connect to that are not aligned to that beautiful, pure intention and energy. Closed, less open, less able to respond, it's not personal, is what I'm getting. So then this is more like what's happening now, and we do have a full moon coming up in about 4 days, I believe, on the 7th of March, full moon in Virgo. So this is the moon, intuition, subconscious fantasy, romance, psyche, affection, recognition, invitation, sensuality, artistic, divine feminine. So it's interesting that we've got the wounded masculine, the wounded child masculine, and then the divine feminine coming through through the moon. So as the divine feminine's coming in through this full moon, there is an invitation. There's romance, there's fantasy, some subconscious things coming up from the subconscious. So the moon is highlighting what's hidden, what's secret, what's subconscious, and it's bringing it up to the surface. Some of those fantasies might go back to the young child, that creative, spontaneous, new beginnings, fresh, genuine, wanting to connect. There's also 3 and 2, which is 5, which is change. So the full moon's bringing change, and change. The full moon is also where the moon then starts to wane. So it's been waxing, so it's a turning point, and then starts to wane. So it's been building over the last few days of this young masculine wound, with the divine feminine energy coming in and making the subconscious conscious, bringing it to the surface. And then the pivotal point of the full moon will be the clearing of it. So that might be where it hurts the most, and it will be emotional, and it will be on the intangible levels. There may not even be anything or something very minor in your physical reality that triggers it, but it's a part of a larger process which the moon is bringing in. And where we go to from there is a tornado. So this is like the total clearing of anything that was previously built, because what was built on trauma, on childhood wounds, on wounded masculine principles, and was never going to be stable and permanent anyway, because it's based on false perception. So it's like the tower coming down. So as it clears all of the false structures based on wounded inner child, it clears away for more permanent, clear structures that are based more on that innocent beginnings, new perspective, the unwounded masculine, right? Because that wounding is clearing here. And we all have the masculine and the feminine within us. We have the wounded child within us has masculine and feminine components, as does the divine masculine and feminine. So I'm also suggesting there could be a mother trauma. It might be what the inner child, the masculine inner child, so more around taking action, following your dreams, making decisions in the real world, was affected by the emotions of the mother. And the way the mother or the feminine nurtured experience that the masculine child had with the feminine energies, feminine, what even the culture around and the upbringing taught about the intuitive and the subconscious and fantasy and romance. So all of that is coming down here. So this one is 8 and this one is 8, which is Jupiter. So and 1, 3 is 4 is foundations. 3 is creativity and expression. So this really is very much clearing the slate. All of that is over and done. This is the healing of that wounded masculine child. Liberated from that. It's the end of that. And then this is the energies that we're going to bring in. This is the antidote, the solution. So it's the firefly. Illumination, chemistry, magical, self-discovery, soul spark, light codes, fire, creative spark, someone exceptional. So this is 1-1, which is 11, which is a master number. And 1-1 is 2. So it feels like also a coming together and a building. So this is reigniting. I see this is reigniting that soul spark, that creative spark that was there in that child. And particularly as it's the masculine, that will be about making solid foundations in this world, you know, maybe in your career, in your home life. So that inspired action, so that inspiration that comes through, and so that's quite present here in this middle column, coming all the way down from the heavens to ground into the earth, is, you know, that illumination, that soul spark, that inspiration, that divine guidance of what you're here to do and the ways that you are exceptional, to be grounded into physical reality and build solid structures based on that authentic spark, that authentic creativity, where you bring what you're here to bring into this world. And where it says someone exceptional, that is you. So that firefly is lighting up, just as the moon is, how exceptional you really are and what you're here to bring. And also that chemistry is bringing forward those people that are exceptional also, that match you, that are aligned to you. Atatita tatita katatakato, atatatita tatita katakato, Akatati tati takata kata ko 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 to 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 ko to ko ko. Akatati tatati takata takato ko to oto to to ko to ko. Akatati takata tati takata taka ko ko. Feeling that shifting out of the stomach and the throat. Stomach in terms of like the lining where we sift the chaff from the wheat, you know, where we determine from our body's intelligence what becomes part of our body, what becomes part of our bloodstream, and what's eliminated. So I can feel that going on. I can feel the throat. It's like that throat. Also, throat glands are your first line of defense. So it's the first filtering system of, okay, that's you know, a bacteria or a virus, or no, that's food. That's good. So those two filtering processes are refining and healing, so that nothing ingenuine gets through, just quality. Atatati takatakatatati takato. Atatati takataka. Oh, I feel a real strength coming into the body. A spark of light from your core extending right up through the crown into the heavens. Akatati tatatati takatakato. Akatati tatatati takatata. Akatati tatato koto toko koto toko koto koko ko. Akatati takatakataka katako koto koto ko. Akatati tatati takatakato toko koko koto toko ko. Akatatati takatakata. Katatati takatata. Akatati takatatatata. I'm feeling like a growing up of the inner masculine child into a divine masculine, into a mature masculine who makes reasoned decisions, but with a heart full of compassion and love, and there's so much wisdom there. Atatati takatakatako. In all his choices, he chooses wisely from a balanced heart and mind. Akatati takatakatako koto toko toko koto koko. Akatati takatatati takatakata. Akatatatakataka. Okay, I'm feeling that now. There's just this strength, it does feel masculine, like this strength through the physical body, through the spine, moving out through all the cells of the body, the muscles, the energy field. Yeah, it feels really solid and strong, like a strong foundation. So if you find that, you know, things appear to be falling apart and destructing, or it feels like the end of something, like something's over and done, and you feel sad and you feel grief, understand that it's bringing something better. Okay, so I'm seeing like the tornado and the Wizard of Oz and Dorothy being transported in the tornado to a higher reality, a different reality where there's magic. I know she goes on adventures there, but it's just more like being transported via the destruction of the other world into and the tornado transporting to like a portal. We're in the 3-3 portal to a world, like it looks like an ascended world to me, the 5D reality, where your dreams and visions can land because they're matched and they're received. The energy is a higher energy that can receive your higher energy on the other side of the 3-3 portal. Blessings, everybody.